Billy, do you know if in the wrestling match with ESPN we were able to get our intellectual property of that whiteboard that for many days and months, and I think years, you were keeping track of how many days I could go without broaching race as a subject? Do you know if we were able to bring that scoreboard over?
It's funny that you mentioned that, and I'm wondering if this is the direction that you want this to go in, because I was thinking yesterday that we could use that board on another topic.
Deion.
It was Deion. I was thinking just yesterday. I'm like, man, we should bring that board
I'm glad we're thinking alike here.
I think it might be in storage.
All right,
Let me ask.
Let's see if we can find it and see how many days I can go without talking about Deion, because I was thinking
days.
I drove home.
Start with an hour.
I drove home yesterday. I'm dead serious about this. I drove home yesterday laughing at myself because I have arrived at this particular inception. There is an initial overreaction, and then there is a reaction to that overreaction. I am reacting to the reaction to that overreaction, and then you, the audience, are reacting to my reaction to the reaction to the overreaction.
I think you may be doing Deion more harm than good, where people may be rooting against
because
Deion because
of
of you,
Yes.
not because of Deion.
Not us, you.
Okay. All right,
you and
fine.
Scott Pelley.
Okay.
It ain't me, babe.
All right. So,
I was having dinner with my wife, not talking about work, and I just muttered, Dan needs to stop talking Deion.
Yeah, and so let's see if we can get that out of storage and see how long I can go. I'm going to see if I can ignore all the stories.
They play good teams now, though.
No, I know. That's fine. We'll zig while others are zagging.
Oregon.
I think they're playing one of them, USC, at 9 a.m., right? They're playing because now we're doing
That
noon
sounds
football
awesome.
at 9 a.m. West Coast time.
I'm so excited for that one.
Come
I'm
on.
so excited for that one. In the morning?
I am going to have a hard time not talking about this, though, because you do understand this is going to escalate and get louder. And we're
All right, back at zero, guys.
We're already at Henry Blackburn getting death threats.
I was wondering if those came from you at first.
How dare you?
All right. I am announcing now publicly that I am willing. I don't know how long is the right amount of time to go without talking Deion, but I have realized the error of my ways on the way. I don't want to contribute to this man's downfall because people just hate the way the media is talking about him instead of the way that he's talking about himself.
Their game against Colorado State was the 5th most viewed game in the history of ESPN.
No. Audience, I know. I'm talking about the biggest story in sports too much. Sorry, my bad.
I got the under on whatever the over-under is.
I'll talk instead about 36-year-old Grandma Bobert, and all of a sudden the moral arbiter on behalf of our country is Howard Stern somehow. That's a thing that's happened in apocalyptic America. Howard Stern trends for moralizing and casual sexism there while he's at it, telling her how to dress. I'll talk about that instead.
Yes, go ahead.
Instead of the biggest story in sports. The one that everyone's watching. So you're telling me that night did better than Florida, Tennessee?
It's the 5th most watched college football game in ESPN history.
Wow.
It was against Colorado State.
That has to be just
It was
the
10
start.
o'clock at night.
That has to be just the start of it, right?
Yeah, that can't be right because national championships are broadcast on ESPN.
Those games have been real bad. People aren't watching those anymore.
It was ESPN's most watched late-night primetime game ever.
There it is.
In the state of Colorado.
And before Deion Sanders, that had to be one of the saddest interstate rivalries in college football, right? Nobody cared about Colorado State.
No.
Nobody.
Nope.
Billy, before the show today, and I'm sure many members of the audience would have liked to do this to me yesterday, because Billy was snorting with laughter, and this was an unusual thing, I thought, to find funny for him. Because he was walking around the room showing everyone a video of a guy who was being arrested, Stugotz, and he was handcuffed, and the people around him figured, okay, there is only so much harm this person can do because he's been detained, he's handcuffed, everything is under control. But they underestimated the thing you never want to underestimate, which is the headbutt.
Oh.
The headbutt as a weapon. One of my most feared friends one time was upset with someone in traffic. They were on their bike being reckless in front of him. He yelled at them. They both got out of their cars. The guy on the bicycle came toward him, arms, gesticulating, loud and angry, and my friend just headbutted him and left him in the street. The headbutt as a weapon.
You never expect it.
No.
I mean,
Put it on the poll, please, Juju, at Le Batard Show. Do you ever expect the headbutt? Because I want to go to this video. Billy, what is it about the video that you feel like the audience needs to know? I don't know if you meant this for air or not, but you were showing everyone this very excitedly.
Well, before we go to the video, I have questions for you because I wonder if the headbutt is actually an effective tool or not, because it's effective, but it also is self-inflicting damage. You know what I mean? Like, is it
Not
the
really.
smartest attack? Not really.
No,
if you
Billy,
bang your head against
Not
someone.
correctly, not done
if
correctly.
you know how to execute it, I think it's safe.
Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't know I worked with a bunch of headbutting experts, apparently.
I'm not, but I'm assuming the reason people use it is to, A, you're not expecting it, and B, if you know how to execute it, you could do it well without hurting yourself.
You do it the crown of your helmet, right? The crown of your
Well,
head.
this person
Tony
was
knows,
this
right.
person, as you can see on the video, was in Zuba's overalls, which is great. I think it was in Cincinnati. Had, I think, 3 or 4 security guards around him. Had his hands behind his back.
Oh!
So then another patron of the game felt comfortable in talking to this person, I would assume, and didn't expect the headbutt to come. And then you see, almost in a cartoonish fashion, the sunglasses stay in place while the body of the person that is headbutted falls to the ground. Very slowly.
How many hands are on this guy's neck after he
8
does
dudes
this?
choke him.
Let's backtrack.
Let's count the hands on the neck real fast.
No.
Here we go.
No.
And the state
gonna-
trooper right there.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Wow. I'm laughing at the guy wearing a Tyler Eifert jersey. I mean, still hoping that he's going to come back.
I want, please, to examine this as if we had a telestrator. And I want, even though most of the audience is listening to this as audio only, I would like to take them, instead of on a show where we watch television and they don't know what the pictures are, take them through the specifics of what we are presently airing. So we are doing a show for them and not for us. On this video, outside of the stadium, a thick man with facial hair who is white. And I wouldn't say muscled, but I wouldn't say fat either. I would just say a big dude. He is wearing Zubas that are tiger striped and has one overall on one shoulder, and his other shoulder is free. Police officers have his hands. Multiple police officers have his hands. And a guy comes over, and Billy described this part correctly, and starts talking shit
I said but.
to this man, and that man is wearing sunglasses. The way
Not for long.
The way that man goes down is one of the funniest things I've ever seen in a fight, because he is clearly staggered. This is how an actor would do it if he was perfecting how to go down comically funny, because the glasses do stay where they were. But the rest of his body staggers back with 4 disoriented steps back, where he's going to his knees saying, that really
The
happened.
glasses fly like
the
5
glasses
feet
popped
off.
off.
No, but
Yeah.
this is what Billy is saying. The glasses stay where they were. This person goes flying backwards from the headbutt in a way that then leaves him sprawled in orange shorts on his back on the concrete. You can't go down funnier than that. As a reaction
Tyler
to
Eifert jersey.
this is but,
So great.
but Eifert was unaware. You have to understand, Eifert went from confidence. I can talk shit to this guy. He's handcuffed and 2 cops have their hands on him. I can talk shit.
It seemed like the safest place to talk crap to this guy is with 4 cops around him and his hand cuffed behind his back.
Right. But as I said earlier, you never account for the headbutt. I mean,
The headbutt E went down like a stunned heavyweight falling on the canvas. That's what it reminded me of.
The thing, though, that is comedically perfect about it is how quickly he goes from arrogance to stunned disbelief.
Right.
And while falling is looking at the guy whose face is redder than it's ever been, saying, oh, you got me with that. You did that. I just went from super alert and ready to fight a harmless man to, oh, this is embarrassing. I'm looking at your face. You just got me perfectly with your forehead. You are like those headbutt expert executors, Tony, Stugotz, and Dan on the Le Batard Show.
I see something different every single time. There's a guy's reaction in a blue shirt, and a blue hat that's like, oh, God, just
It's
horrified.
the perfect headbutt. You're right. There were 8 hands on his neck after after that. Again, Zubas that are tiger striped.
Zubas work for Bengal fans, though. They
Look
do.
at the blue hat.
They
Look at
do.
the paws,
Yeah.
blue hat guy.
Right.
Look at, he's like, oh my Lanta.
It's horrifying.
The guy afterwards also looks very, very proud of what he's done. Like he looks like in
But
like
how
the
could you not
1990s,
be?
like
He should be
stone
proud,
cold, getting
yeah.
taken out by cops, laughing at everyone.
Right.
State troopers.
You know,
3 of
also just because of the way my understanding of the way that the law works and the legal system works, I feel like both of them can sue each other and win. Like I feel like the guy that gets headbutted can sue him or sue the Bengals and win. And I feel like he has now been grabbed by his neck and he can sue someone and win something too.
If you are not subscribed to our YouTube channel, I am suggesting to you right now to please go find the stills of what these guys are talking about. Because the last one you just showed, where he is even the head butter, is more red-faced because, at least in part, it's not just rage and that it was excellently executed. He has 8 hands on his neck. 8 hands.
And he's smiling. He's
holding him back.
laughing.
Of course he is, because he perfectly executed the headbutt.
I want a new
Alcohol may have been
submission.
involved.
I want a new submission for reddest guy is the state trooper who's trying to hold the guy's neck. His red is tomato.
You don't understand, okay? This looks like Jake Paul. Bearded Jake Paul with a Cro-Magnon chin. And the grin on his face as he's being held by 4 hands, one of them wearing a watch, by the neck.
A watch.
And a cowboy hat, it looks like. Under a sign that says tenders.
He is
what's up
screaming
with that?
right there. I can lip read. He is screaming right there. Do you understand how well I just got you with that perfectly executed headbutt?
It's a bit wordy.
Yeah, but I take it up with
Well-spoken
him.
as well.
Hands on his neck.
Security guards' shirts are green and they also say best, and I would argue not the best security here. You allow a handcuffed man to headbutt someone, not a great job by you.
Billy, thank you for pointing out that me, Tony, and Stugotz know how to inflict headbutts in the height of violence
It's the oddest take I've ever had.
without injuring ourselves. I know, Stugotz, that we hyperanalyze the holy hell out of this sport. Football dominates everything. And I just think that even with all our over coverage everywhere, we have done a woeful job of sort of covering the Colts since Peyton Manning, where you go from Jim Irsay being caught with all sorts of pills and cash in his car as the owner of the team, and then he's trying to save Lolita over here in the Miami Seaquarium. And he is, one of these fun rich guy owners that all the other owners laugh at because he's a little bit out of control. And then one day he says, you know who my coach is going to be on my multi-billion-dollar industry here? I'm going to go right on ESPN. I'm going to get that bearded guy, Jeff Saturday, because he was a center.
Right.
And I'm going to let him run my organization.
Started off well.
Yeah, and from one day to the next,
Yeah.
from ESPN to the head of the Colts, and now they've got the best running back in the league. But why do they want to use him or pay him? They won 4 games last year. Why? Because, again, Jeff Saturday was their coach. However, and look, no shade to none of the Colts. Andrew Luck, bleep that. By getting on with his life, they were going to have 10 golden years where he would have covered up every organizational incompetence.
But he decided football was dangerous.
That's right.
Yeah.
He was the sane one among us. He walked away. They haven't been interesting since. And now Anthony Richardson is going to kill his spleen trying to get 7 yards for Irsay.
Can't say he wasn't warned, though.
Yes, yes. Trevor Lawrence
Yes,
said, hey,
yes.
kid.
Yeah.
Trevor Lawrence. A lot of surface area on that face. Face of wisdom. A lot of wisdom to put on that surface area. Hey, kid, be careful out there. Violent game. Richardson, concussion protocol.
Yeah, I was going to say, he was his concussion. Spleen, liver was Colorado, so I think we may have to go back to 0 here.
I'm
Dan,
just saying this.
unfortunately.
Oh, no, spleen.
Oh,
no, I didn't say.
no.
No. I did not say liver. Spleen. Everyone's got a spleen.
It's always on your mind, Dan. That's the point.
You know who has a
I
spleen?
mean,
Deion, 0.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
That's unfair what you've done to me there.
No, the whiteboard knows.
Yeah.
That used to be literally the blackboard, but it was a whiteboard. That's the race board?
What are we doing?
Just a board.
Board. the thing that I wanted to cover with you guys today is Jeff Saturday's back on my television. When did that happen? I just saw Get Up, and Jeff Saturday was back from being, again, I will say this again. Irsay said, I need a coach. Where do I get one? How about that guy on my television? All right.
Arizona State did the same thing.
Yeah, that's right.
Yep.
Well, it's a great move, people.
And ESPN did the same thing. Welcomed him back right after he was fired.
But where's Mangini? Where is Eric Mangini?
It's a good question.
For many years, he was on my television. He was going to be Belichick's right-hand guy into eternity. He was going to be Shanahan before Shanahan.
I think I've seen him on that Carton show with Tim Hardaway.
No
He's
way.
back?
At one point, maybe not anymore, but at one point he was on that show.
Jeff Saturday is back on ESPN. I don't know when that happened. And it made me think of Greg Cody saying there's been an update to Datterday.
I'm happy to report that Datterday is beginning to sweep the nation, by which I mean it has entered the Gill household.
It's true.
I mean, this is so, I'm so honored.
Explain to people what Datterday is in the event that they weren't listening last week.
To your every word.
I mean, Datterday, patent pending, is my invention
It's
for
not pending.
essentially a day of help and gratitude for the older generation. It's a day when sons and daughters come together and say, Dad, you're getting a little up in years. You need some help. What can I do for you? You've done for me my entire life. Now, what can I do for you? Need me to go to Home Depot and buy 50 bags of mulch? Done. Need me to plant a couple of bougainvilleas on the east side? Done. What else do you need, Dad? Let me buy the pizza for lunch. I got that, Dad. Datterday.
You're not even buying the pizza?
Well, it's Datterday.
We'll negotiate that.
Yeah.
It's Datterday.
Chris, did you indeed show up and do the work that you wanted to give to lawn men?
Well, it has, yes. I offered to
Instead
pay.
of bonding with your
Right.
father.
My brother would show up, and I would pay 2 people, so my dad would be getting 3 people
That
for the
ain't
price
happening.
of...
That's not Datterday.
That's not Datterday.
I can hire somebody myself.
It hasn't been scheduled yet, to answer your question. So I haven't not done it, but it hasn't come up yet.
Okay,
so.
the bros need to get together, come up with a date. I'm available most Saturdays, as long as UM's not playing a big home game. I'm
But
available.
does Datterday have to be
So
on,
every Saturday.
on a Saturday? The Datterday in
For
order.
the sake of the name, yeah.
Okay, I didn't know whether Datterday could be any day.
But
Yeah,
every
Datterday.
day, every day ends in day. But I
No,
guess
it's the day that
Datter-
Greg wants.
Yeah,
right.
but Sunday would
Yes.
be Dad Day.
Done
you
day.
it doesn't rhyme the same.
Datter-
way.
Mum Day.
Yeah,
We
Datter
do things
Day.
about
Datter
Mum,
Day.
yeah.
Mum
Datter-
Day. That's right. After the next day, we can celebrate Arlene on Mum Day.
Mum day.
But that would work
Mum
better
Day.
on Monday also, maybe.
Right.
No, that's Sunday.
Okay,
S-O-N.
my wife doesn't need to be celebrated the way I do.
Whoa!
Believe me. I mean, she's celebrated already. Believe me.
Every day by you.
Well, by me and by her entire
Billy,
staff.
how did Datterday infect your home?
Well, so I went over this weekend to my dad's
Staff.
house, and he said, you know what, I was listening to the show. I really like this Datterday idea.
Thank
I
you.
have a couple things that I think you and your sister can kind of help out with. And then I quickly realized that Datterday, which, by the way, doesn't seem to work the way Greg previously described, where the children go up to their parents and say, what can I do for you? Datterday seems to work like this. The dads have the lists of all the things that they need to get done that they don't want to get done,
Yeah.
that they're trying to get their children to do for them.
Hello.
And I quickly realized that my dad's Datter Day would be like Datter Month. Like, this is a very long list of things that I don't think I can accomplish within a day.
How many people in our audience understand that at some point when you became 7, 8, 9 years old, you became cheap labor for your parents?
Not
Zagacki.
only did you become cheap labor, but you do the work, and then they're like, "You did it wrong. You did it wrong the whole time. I gotta fix the whole thing now." That's your fault for hiring an 8-year-old.
If you are teaching a 6, 7, or 8-year-old to give you 10 good years of indentured servitude, really, we call it family. It's a bit like slavery.
Well, I don't know if I'd go that far.
Those are your words.
My words.
Greg called the family his staff. I mean,
He did call it his staff, and once it gets unreasonable, once you change the power structure so that he's in control, the power's going to get abused.
I don't know if this has affected my upbringing and resulted in like what I've become today, but my father has told me on multiple occasions that they had me so that I could change the channel, and then the remote control was invented.
It's one of the best perks of being
So
a
essentially,
parent.
I was told you were useless.
Graceland, can you go get that water bottle on the counter? They love doing things.
That's right, and then they don't. And then when they get to be
They get older, they don't, right? They hate doing
no
things.
longer like doing things for you. That's the problem. I got a ramshackle mailbox in my front yard. On
His
a TV,
mailbox sits on a TV dinner stand.
which is like
That seems not to code.
Frank,
That
come
seems
on.
illegal.
it's the worst.
Got to do what you got to do, though.
Okay, that's
What if
another
it's
thing-
windy?
Hey, that's another thing we're going to take care of on Saturday. Why? Because for 3 years, the poor mailman has had to reach over a decrepit,
Wait a minute.
waterlogged.
Wait.
It's not his
stand.
fault,
Wait,
Dan. It's
it's
his
been on the
staff's.
TV
I mean,
dinner
just-
table for 3
hold
years.
on a
Yeah,
second.
I need help replacing
Hold
my
on.
mailbox.
you need a new staff.
This is the
getting it.
most trailer park thing I've ever heard. Are
What's
you
wrong with trailer
are
parks?
you-
Respectfully, yeah.
Are
what's wrong
you
with trailer
kidding
parks?
me? Are you kidding me?
No, I wish I were. You know, in my dreams, one of my sons is calling me on the phone going, Dad, I've been noticing that mailbox out front. You know what? I want to come over tomorrow. I'm going to bring a bag of sacrete, and we're going to take care of that issue.
Sacrete.
We're going to take care of that. I got a shovel. We're going to take care of it. Don't you worry. Christopher and I are going to take care of it. Michael and I are going to take care of that for you, Dad.
Least they can do.
That's what I'm
A
thinking.
pointed nose shovel, Greg, correct? Some people don't know that.
Yeah,
the
you
flat
wanna-
shovel is for laying things out. You need the pointed nose so you can go down into the
Exactly,
dirt.
and the main thing you got to do is you got to dig out that big ball of concrete that anchored the previous post.
Sometimes you run a jackhammer to break that up, Dano.
You know what? I could use a jackhammer. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
No, I'm sorry. I'm going to ward that off for a second. I need to stop. We will get to the bucket of
We
death.
just look ridiculous right now because
I
it's
know.
very dark in here.
You know what? It's fine. It's fine. We're going to look ridiculous
We
for a
look
while.
like Greg's mailbox.
How
Well,
great would it
this-
be to be a guy named Jack Hammer?
That would be great.
You know?
Oh, God.
I would love that. What a manly name.
Every Hammer family does a
Jack Hammer.
disservice to not name their child
I
Jack.
know, right?
Or Jackie Hammer.
No, jackhammer
Not
is
so
better.
much. It's
Yeah.
got to be Jack Hammer.
Yeah.
Sounds like a PI.
It does.
Put
You
it
can
on.
be anything as Jack Hammer.
Or a PS.
Why is it a PS?
Jack Hammer, PS, porn star. Anybody?
You were
Hello.
just hoping it kept moving there.
Right.
Jack Hammer's a great name for a porn star. Sorry, guys.
It's not
Unfortunate
bad.
for you that
know
Dan
what?
stopped.
It's not bad. I
didn't
know,
go there.
Tony. It's okay. I'm sorry I required the explanation, but it would also be a good name for a porn star. Put it on the poll, please, at Le Batard Show. Jack Hammer, action star or porn star?
Jack Hammer is.
Yeah, he's either.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Can
But
we keep
Bar.
this lighting for Greg's haircut?
Be a
yes,
good NFL coach name as well.
this is what we need to do. Greg's haircut is coming up. Put it on the poll, please, Juju. Would you trust your head coach more if his name were Jack Hammer?
Hell
Yeah,
yeah.
you would. Hell yeah.
The lighting in here is red. The Reaper is swampy because he is wearing that outfit for too long.
Or she.
Or she. Or they. Thank you, Billy.
Always here to help.
It is. That's what I think about you all the time. The room is red, and they're forcing me to get to the grid of death, the bucket of death, which I hate and has been a disaster for 3 years, and nobody respects the rules, and now we've got more people than ever playing it. But I'm going to put it on pause for a second because I need to understand for how long you have had a TV dinner tray on your mailbox, and I need to know all of the details on this and why you are so appalling.
Well, it's been a few years. I bought a replacement mailbox, which is leaning in my garage. I bought a beautiful 4x4. I cut it to length. It's ready to go. Truth be known, I actually have a bag of cement in my garage, although by now I have a feeling it's solid and I need another one. But basically, I just need the manpower. I need the manpower to replace this mailbox, okay, because it ain't going to get done itself. I refuse to hire somebody to do it. My wife won't do it. You know, she doesn't lift a finger around the house. Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Neither do
because
you.
She does so much.
Neither do you.
Oh,
You
I
don't-
do. No. I have a green thumb, and you know it. And I do plenty of work around the house when it comes to yard work. Okay, I don't mow my lawn.
This is a new and unimproved Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz. Gamble on by DraftKings.